up, a Cinema Shogun here, and as I reported to you all yesterday, they were able to not only find, but they recovered huge portions of the OceanGate Titan sub that supposedly imploded on its journey down to the Titanic. But not just that. They were also able to somehow, some way, by some miracle, they also recovered human remains. Now, both of these pieces of news caught me by surprise. Because, from what I was told, from everything I heard, there shouldn't be much of this sub left. And there wouldn't be any remains of humans. No, they would have been vaporized and turned into goo. But apparently, they found huge portions of the sub and portions of somebody. We don't know who the remains belong to, but I mean, it's one of the 5 people on board. We don't know how intact the remains are, how much these remains are. Mind you, human remains could be a literal body, or it could be a literal plasma stain on the side of some metal that they recovered from the bottom of the ocean. Now, if that's the case, and these people were vaporized, I don't see how those liquefied remains wouldn't wash away at the bottom of the freaking ocean. But hey, you know what? Miracles happen every day, right? Miracles happen, right? They were able to recover all of this stuff. And you know, I mentioned that was weird to me. Because I have sat here for like 2 weeks now, just consuming every single drop, every single morsel and snippet of news surrounding this story. I've listened to and heard from over 50 experts. I played the clips for you all here on this channel. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. I've had to make over 24 videos on this story already. And from everything we were told, there would not be basically anything left of the ship, or especially the people on board. So that's why I found it weird that they were recovering all of this stuff. Now, of course, I had the sub-experts down in my comment section saying, well, Cinema Shogun, you don't understand physics. If you understood physics, you would know. You say it's weird just because you don't understand. No, I say it's weird because it looks weird. But then again, I'm a YouTuber. I know about a lot of different things. I'm definitely not an idiot, but I'm definitely not an expert on subs, and I've made that clear the entire way. Which is why I have made sure to share my opinions on the story, but also show you the opinions of experts in the field who dive down to the Titanic and dive to depths even deeper than that. We've heard from them all. Well, not them all, but we've heard from a lot of them. And all of them were on the same page, that there wouldn't be much left of these people. But when I'm looking at the huge portions of this sub that they recovered, I can't help but feel that maybe this talk of a catastrophic implosion that was over in milliseconds before anyone knew something was going wrong, I'm not so sure that's the case anymore. I mean, obviously it looks like the sub imploded somewhat, but as far as it just being over in an instant and no one knowing or suffering or anything like that, I think that's something nice to say to maybe make the families feel better. But looking at the large portions of the sub that was recovered, considering the fact that they found human remains, it's really making me question what actually happened to this sub. I mean, I'm not saying that it wasn't a catastrophic implosion. I'm just saying that I don't think this implosion went the way that they have described. And you see, this is my problem. Because the experts, the scientists, the officials whatever you want to call them, they always want to have their cake and they want to eat it too. So they've been sitting on the news for days on end telling us how these implosions work, right? They've been telling us there wouldn't be anything left. The sub would be in microscopic little pieces. It would basically vaporize into dust. They've been telling us all of this scientific stuff for days on end, and they wanted us to believe it, right? But now we're seeing with our own two eyes that the sub didn't vaporize and these people didn't turn into liquid goo the way they explained, and now they're mad at us for questioning things. They try to explain the science to us, and then when we see that the science didn't work out the way the scientists say, then they look at us like we're bad people for questioning things. It's always the same thing. That's why I don't trust in the science. I don't believe in the experts, because this is what they do. They act like they're experts. They act like they know everything. They tell you how something's going to go. Then the things don't go that way. And then they flip the script and act like you're weird for questioning things as if the only reason we are questioning things is because of what y'all told us. Y'all told us it was going to vaporize. I've never imploded. Neither have you. That's why we're here talking right now, right? But we thought we could trust these people. They tell us one thing, and then the outcome's different, and now they're looking at us sideways like, well, why are you questioning things? Because y'all told us there wouldn't be anything left. That's why. That is why. You want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to be the expert, you want to explain the science, and then the science doesn't science in the way that you said the science would science, and then you look at us and try to provide a different scientific explanation as to how things went, as if we could trust y'all with anything that y'all say. But, anyways, I am in pursuit of the truth when it comes to this story. If the truth is ugly, so be it. I think we need to face it. And after they pulled up those chunks of the sub, I got to thinking. And I got to thinking about some things that were recently said about this whole situation. In fact, James Cameron, which is one of the leading experts on diving deep in the ocean and someone's opinion who I trust. I'm not saying that James Cameron's the best person in the world. I don't know about the guy's background and what he does. I mean, I know he's a filmmaker. All I'm saying is when it comes to subs and diving down to the Titanic and diving down deep in the ocean, I think that James Cameron's opinion is very valuable. And he said some things over the past few days or the past week that I think we need to refer back to now. Because if you ask me, when I'm looking at these huge portions of the sub get brought up to the ocean's surface, and I'm thinking about what all of the experts have said, and experts have spoken out since this, and they're dumbfounded. They're surprised that these portions are so big. But anyways, I'm thinking about something that James Cameron said on the news. He actually said it a couple of times. I want you all to watch this clip, because I think it turns out that this little implosion wasn't some quick and instant thing that they want us to believe. I think it was probably worse than that. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the video so far. I'm going to show you what James Cameron had to say. Then I'm going to come back with more thoughts.
But, this OceanGate sub had sensors on the inside of the hull to give them a warning when it was starting to crack. And I think if that's your idea of safety, then you're doing it wrong. And they probably had warning that their hull was starting to delaminate and starting to crack. Because as Bob pointed out, it's our belief, we understand from inside the community, that they had dropped their ascent weights and they were coming up trying to manage an emergency.
And did
not surface. I was also told, and I don't have confirmation on this, that they were on descent, they were a couple hundred meters above the seafloor, and they dropped their weights. Now, the only way for the ship to know that they had dropped their ascent weights, which would be an emergency abort, is if they had called that in, that they were ascending. So I believe now that they had some warning, that they heard some acoustic signature of the hull beginning to delaminate. An investigation will hopefully eventually show what did happen, because we all need to know as we go forward.
So you heard it from him, folks. It appears that they knew that something was going wrong, that they had dropped the weights and they were trying to ascend back to the top because they knew that something was going wrong. There was a breach. There was loud sounds maybe that, warned them to the fact that there was about to be an implosion, that this craft, this sub, was about to malfunction and be destroyed. So, they want us to believe that this was a catastrophic implosion that was over in milliseconds before anyone knew what was wrong. They were vaporized. When in reality, folks, and I know it doesn't sound as pleasant, but it appears, we weren't down there, but it appears as of right now that they did know something was going wrong and that they were desperately trying to get back to the top. And I don't think this implosion was as quick as we think. I think it was a little bit slower. And I mean, I'm not a scientist here, but I'll say maybe a little less catastrophic, considering the fact that the sub wasn't blown into itsy bitsy pieces and these people weren't liquefied instantly. I don't know. I'm thinking there's a possibility that everyone's talking about how the hull is, what basically caved in. I'm thinking about that window. Now, of course, if the window blows out or whatever, that's going to cause an implosion. We know that this thing imploded, but I don't know if it was necessarily the hull or if the window blew out or what. Maybe we'll never know. They're supposedly conducting an investigation. Can we believe them? I don't know. They were telling us they were hearing knocking at the bottom of the ocean when they already knew that the sub imploded. So I don't know who to believe about anything these days. But they're doing an investigation. Maybe we'll find out exactly what happened. But all I'm saying is, judging by the large pieces and portions of that sub that they recovered, judging by the fact that James Cameron right here says the whole community knows that there was some type of contact, that they were trying to, release the weights off of the sub so they could try to get back to the top. It lets us know that this wasn't just this quick, an instant type of thing, that the people on board probably knew that something was going wrong. And if you ask me, how can I put it? I guess that would better explain how the sub was still in such good shape, if you will, because maybe they didn't implode as deep down as we thought they did. We thought that they imploded much deeper than maybe they did. Maybe they were already rising to the top as the hull was cracking and they're hearing these creaks and cracks and they're looking at the little window cracking and they're slowly trying to get to the top and boom, you know what I mean? But hey, I don't know. It will probably remain a mystery. But for right now, I want to know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. You've heard from me. You've heard from James Cameron. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think happened? What do you think about this overall story? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I will be talking to you all in the next video.